Hey YouTube, it's me, Jay Alabaster. Um, I just want to first give a shout out to the MasterChef winner, Jennifer from Delaware, my home state. Even though a lot of people, including myself, wanted Adrian to win, that didn't happen. But you know what? Everything works out for the good, and hopefully she will go on to do great things, and also Adrian. Also, I want to thank everyone who viewed my last video. I know it was like a week ago on the SEPTA bus shooting. For those who left a comment, those who liked, even if you just viewed the whole video, I'm thankful for that. Now to my video that I want to talk about today. In recent news, Pastor Zachery Timms from his church is in the suburb of Orlando, Florida. Apaca, Apaca, I think it's called Apaca, Florida. Excuse me. um, he was found dead in New York City in a hotel room. And just today, it was confirmed that what was found in his bed inside the hotel room was a white powdery substance, and it was confirmed that he OD'd on drugs. First and foremost, I'm going to put it out there that I was never, and this is no disrespect, there are certain people, preachers that I like and certain ones I don't like. And he unfortunately was ones I didn't like. Nothing against him personally, just that every time he would preach and I would hear him, it's just something about him I didn't like. And certain things he would say didn't just would not sound right to me. And also certain guests he had, because he did a lot of praise the Lord, some of the guests he would have were just I don't know. They just didn't sit well with me. But with that being said, I was very when I first heard about his death, I was judgmental. I'll admit. I'm not going to say what I first thought when I heard that he died, because it said that he had a heart attack. He's only 42 years old, and and he's actually in good health. But then I thought about his family. He has an ex-wife and 4 children, and my prayers go out to them, uh, especially to his wife, Pastor Reva Timms, ex-wife, excuse me, Pastor Reva Timms. Um, he had a very troubled life growing up. He wrote a book about it. He's very open about it, about what he went through. Now, here's the issue. It's one thing to be a person in the spotlight. It's another when you are a person in the spotlight and you are somebody who is of a higher standard, like a pastor, a preacher, a televangelist. And to make it all worse, not only was he a pastor in the spotlight, he's also a black man. So, with those two things being added, the things that he's going through in his mind, and the pressure that he feels, you can't talk about it, because in the African American culture, to see us to talk about depression, to see a shrink, or excuse me, a therapist. Lord forgive me. See, there I go. To see a therapist, they say shrink, but to see a therapist or see somebody for help is a sign of weakness. And in the black church, if you're going through any type of emotional problems or mental problems, you just pray it away. You just go to God and you pray it away. You fast and you pray it away. You speak in tongues and you pray it away. You just gotta pray it away, and God's gonna send it, and God's gonna let it go away. But there's some things that they're not just gonna be prayed away. And it amazes me, especially in the black church, because the Bible even says it in not trying to preach to anybody, but in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, Paul prayed for something to go away and go away, and God said no. He said, no, I'm going to give you enough to handle this issue that you're going through. Why is it that when we go through things and we are we struggle with certain issues, that we just can't be open and honest with what we're going through? It pains me to, and that's one reason why I technically don't go to church anymore, because I know what it's like to present a face to one person, but then to go home and do something else To live a double life, it's torture and it will kill you because you're only created to live one life. And if you live in two lives, that's hard. I like how Juanita Bottom says, it's one thing to love God, but it's harder to prove to people that you do love God. It starts to wear you down and it starts to get to you. And eventually you're going to act out on it. You're going to do something harmful to yourself or harmful to somebody else. And what he did is that he tried to find a way to escape the pain because, like I said, he's in the spotlight. I mean, he was in this. For those that are familiar with with the church world, as I call it, Zachery Timms was very much in the spotlight. In fact, his nickname was called the Fresh Prince of Gospel because he looked like Will Smith. And to maintain a church as a single man, losing his family, he lost his ex-wife, he lost his wife, they got divorced, and being a single father by himself and having to deal with that isolation and the loneliness going from having a family to being by yourself. God can only imagine what you're going through, and then you have to go on TV, go in front of the church, go in front of churches and present this image like I'm blessed and highly favored of the Lord and everything's okay. That starts to wear on you. And the church doesn't get it because we're too busy. Well, they are too busy being judgmental, too busy trying to tell them do this, this, and this, and everything's going to go away. No, at some point, people need help, and it's going to go beyond just praying and speaking in tongues and eating mashanda and putting enough oil on you to fry chicken. Come on, people need help, and this man needed help, and he had nobody to turn to. I mean, some of the people he had as guests on the show, I could see why he wouldn't talk to them because their thing was just pray it away. Pray it away. That was their answer to everything. Yes, prayer does change things, but at some point you need to deal with the issue. Uh, if you don't deal with it, it's going to eat you alive. And people in the church, what they do is instead of talking about the issue, they shout over it, they pray over it, they speak tongues over it. And I'm sorry to say this over and over again, but I want you to get in your head that you cannot mask it with anything. Pain is pain. Hurt is hurt. Somebody actually called it, say he's going through addiction. I don't know if he had an addiction. I don't know if he was addicted to drugs. This could have been a one-time thing. This could have been an addiction thing. We don't know that. I like how there's a pastor who actually tweeted on here. His name is Bishop Oliver McCrae. He said, it's hard to find real preachers who will share their experiences. I have nothing to lose by sharing what God did for me. I'm not ashamed." That's the problem. You can't be open and honest with people without the fear of being judged. When is a church going to stop being judgmental and just start being real, being honest, being open? That's why I thank God every day that I can be open and honest about who I am, because I'm not for no popularity contest. I don't care if you do or do not like me. That's that's besides the point. I'm here to be a blessing to somebody else. And I hope that this video has blessed you. If you have any issues you're going through with your life, at least have one friend. One friend, I know I do. One friend that you can talk to about anything. Anything, and they won't judge you. If you don't have a friend, see a therapist. I have one. But to God be the glory. And I'm praying for his family. Keep him in your prayers. Keep his family in your prayers. And once again, if you need any help, if you want to even, I don't know, email me and tell me what problems you're going through, I'll pray for you. Or I will just have an open ear. Okay? Be blessed. Jalabaster. Bye.